Umbukaza macho.
Tuliza kama hiyo. Atulizi. Kanda! Ngoja nielewa. Safi! Nimewaambia punch hapo. Asante. Mbele mango, niko bebe.
Opa, oh, lo karibu hapo. Tenga.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami.
At FeathersTale, we are still taking precautions for the COVID-19 pandemic. We are doing so based on medical advice and the request of our residents. With chest complications being the #1 cause of death in persons with cerebral palsy globally, it's better to be safe than sorry when the majority of your residents have cerebral palsy. FeathersTale is an off-the-grid community, meaning all of our electricity comes from solar power. Due to that, we do not have electric washing machines. Traditionally, most family households in Tanzania hand wash their clothing, but when you have more than 100 children, that job requires a team of dedicated staff every day to be able to keep up with the demand of clean clothes and dirty nappies that we have to deal with in FeathersTale. Sunshine House is our main children's home at FeathersTale. At present, we are struggling. We have 3 main homes: Rainbow House, Sunshine House, and Nora's home. Unfortunately, Nora's home has been storm damaged, and we are still waiting for funding to repair the roof. Due to that, when it's time for snacks, or it's time for some cartoons, it's a little bit busy at Sunshine House at the moment, but it's something we aim to change soon once finances pick up. Until then, at least the children are together, whilst they enjoy some entertainment and some snacks in between meals. All of the wheelchairs you see are specially fitted by technicians and imported from Australia. It's one of the highest costs we have when we admit a new child into our care. Speaking of new children, you might recognize Esther from a recent fundraising video. Esther's mum is now staying with us at FeathersTale, and after discovering she had security training and a certificate for it, has become a female security guard working day shift at FeathersTale. This is our occupational therapy and physiotherapy team partaking in sensory works with Esther. Children with cerebral palsy need the opportunity to develop. Sensory work, physio work is desperately important, as without it, a child's limbs can seize up and become useless as they age. Thank you to everyone who allowed Esther and her mum to move in. You may also recognize Amina. Amina is the little girl from a video called The Ripples of Love. Thanks to your support for Matteo to come to FeathersTale, we were able to employ Amina's mother and allow they to move into the area also. The dogs are a side of our family that you rarely get to see. We're going to change that. It's just we can't have the person with a camera in as many places as we need them. The animal rescue shelter is attached to FeathersTale and actually is where FeathersTale began. At the shelter, we provide a loving home for nearly 100 rescue dogs. Thank you to those of you who support the rescue shelter. Last month, we got so busy and we took in so many new rescues, we had to build the new kennel that you can see here. It increased the capacity of dogs we can look after by 20 and provided an additional level of homes for 20 dogs who desperately needed it. During the day, we have to cope with dog politics, as we call it. Unfortunately, due to limited space, dogs exercise on a rotation, meaning we can't have them all out at once because of fighting. Thus, on a 24-hour rotation, some dogs stay in. This can only change if we can increase the size of our animal rescue shelter. To do that, we need more support. This is Jessica with a dog she rescued last week. This mother had dug a nest next to a main road and had her puppies there. Thankfully, Jessica found them. Had she not, undoubtedly they would have been hit by cars. All of these dogs need a sponsor, and if you can sponsor a dog, or even adopt one in Tanzania, you get the opportunity in both of those to name one. With funding limited, even the surgery room is still under construction. And Jessica does the best with her skill set, but she still has to perform surgeries in a less than adequate situation. It's important we can neuter and castrate dogs to bring down the excess population in the area.
La 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 we mama we. La 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 la.
One of the biggest jobs at FeathersTale is feeding. Children with cerebral palsy take a great deal of effort to feed. It can take hours to get enough calories into one child. And with only having the capacity to manage 4 children per caregiver, it's a huge part of the day and an extreme struggle for the team
Oh, below Louis, one lap, talk it out, bye. On Diego Boro, it'll and in that I never bet no way. On Diego Boro, it'll
FeathersTale serves more than 500 meals a day. It's one of our greatest expenses every week, but totally worth it to see these happy, healthy children. This is Rainbow House. Rainbow House is our second special needs home. That's Mateo, who you saw recently crawling around in the dirt at the Maasai. He might go back to his family. We just need to get the education and analysis done to determine how that will work.
Ukipata tunapiga makofi na ngoma. Ila mtoto. Tumbo, mmepatia? Piga makofi. Watoto shikeni macho. Parachichi, papai, yamemwagika.
This is Sarah. Sarah is a very special child in our care, and recently her story develops greatly. Sarah has just been selected by the government to join a government special needs school. When I remember where Sarah came from, it is really very profound to see the progress she has made.
Hello, Sarah. Mambo. Mambo. Hey. Hello. Come on then. Habari. Eh? Hello. Hello. You're beautiful. You're so beautiful. Yeah. Who's this?
Sarah, yeah?
Sarah.
Mambo Sarah.
To see where the family has come from that day to where they are today, Sarah going to school, the grandmother having her own home, Sarah's mother being employed at FeathersTale as a caregiver. I can only say FeathersTale works. Education and sensory work takes up a lot of our time, but so does medical. This is our head nurse. She deals with all the medications, which is a great many. She also deals with feeding tubes being inserted in children who are struggling with chewing. Without her, we simply could not do what we do. An integral part of the mother aspect of our very unusual family. This is Irene. She's a qualified special needs teacher. But during the school closures, Irene has been helping out by educating the other children at home also. These are the able-bodied children who live at FeathersTale. We hope that these children will find a family to adopt them. But until then, we are family, and they're always going to be welcomed as family. This is Esther's home, and Esther's home is dedicated for girls. There is a mixture of able-bodied and special needs girls here. We name it Esther's home after our friend who was tragically murdered 2 years ago, as her daughter lives here. You might recognize it as where I used to stay in FeathersTale. But after I got unwell and moved out, we quickly filled it up with children.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana.
It was originally constructed to be an office. It never did get used for that. I guess God had other plans. Ayikholana buso wami awukholana